What's going on, everybody? How's it going? I know I usually do these on Saturday morning, but I'm trying something new. Maris is in the studio doing stuff with art. She's focusing. And I thought, hey, I'll write some code. And as promised, I brought a beer. So if you're watching out there, go get a beer. I'm joined by a spider. This is my tarantula Spidey. Where is he now? Oh, I think he's in his cave. We're not going to be able to see him. That's okay. He's here in spirit, even though you can't see him. He's a black spider at night in a cave. I don't think we have a chance. Anyway, so we have some fun stuff planned. I started hacking on this yesterday. It came out of Debian upgrades. I was upgrading the little servers I have, and something broke. I started hacking on it, and I stopped myself. I was like, actually, this would make for kind of a fun little chore to do on the stream. So let me show you what I got going on. I run a little Proxmox server at home. It's over there on the wall in the bedroom. I'm running a couple of servers here. I'll show you what I got going on. I've got a Minecraft server. I've got a server just for our little chores microservice here. Ooh, we are behind on chores. At least somebody is. I've also got this guy. I've got a little wallpaper server where whenever you refresh on this endpoint, it serves up another wallpaper. I also got a Jenkins server that's running on there. And these are all built on Debian, and I'm rolling out the new version of Debian Bullseye to each of them. And something broke. I could probably show you what that is. Like, let's look at the chores server for an example. Let me just log in there. How come that's not working? What's happening there? Oh, that's something else I gotta fix. Okay. I also found that since the upgrade, SSH takes really long. I think it must have reverted some setting, but anyway, I have a little ticket to fix that too. Man, maybe we should start fixing that. Okay, well, I'll show you the code. So these little websites I run, they're Python apps. They're built on Flask, and I fired them up in systemd. I'm using the systemd user, the one that like you can use without root. I thought it'd be really smooth, and I'm not like one of these systemd nerds where I like know everything about it and I'm a fanboy and I have all these switches. Like, this is one of the service files I use. Pretty simple. I just give it a command to run. I point a little environment file at it, and then description, stuff like that. And I just want it to start. And I was flabbergasted how difficult it was to do that. Systemd, I had to enable linger mode so that the process would keep running after I logged out. That was a fun one to debug, because I was like, how come whenever I log out of the terminal, the site goes down? Systemd. It wasn't collecting logs by default. I would do like a journal ctl --user, and it'd be like, I don't know what logs are. And I had to enable some other setting in log it. Where was that one? It was like, yeah, anyway, ridiculous. I think it should have. I'm sick of it. And now that after I've upgraded everything, if I try to interact with these services like I used to, for example, systemctl user chores start. Or no, I did that wrong. What am I doing? I want systemctl chores. Oh, do I want start chores? Yeah, I get this dbus mess. Like, what is this? It failed to connect to bus. Dbus session. You know you're in trouble with Debian when you search the error and nothing but like Arch Linux stuff comes up from like 2017. So I've had enough. I'm sick of it. What gave me this idea is my one server that seemed to behave was the Minecraft server. And when I set this up, it was just kind of like on a whim. We just wanted to play. And here's how I'm starting Minecraft. Look at that, just a screen command. This thing's rock solid. Never had any issues with it. And I started thinking, like, why am I even bothering with systemd? So here's the problem. I would port it as is to a systemd script. Or not a system. I would port it as is to like just a little bin script that launches screen. But I still have like other issues to deal with. Like systemd was giving me, the way I look at it, two things. It was letting me point it at an environment variables file, and then I could just load all those environment variables and then kick off the process that I specified. And it was also letting me set the working directory. That's pretty much it. That's all I think I need systemd for. Like, you know, if you see, you go into enms. Ooh, I wonder if I have any secrets in this file. Let me check. Yeah, I do have one secret. Okay, I'll show you everything but the last line. That's what this file looks like. Path to a DB path SQLite file. I've got this API URL that it's hitting. It's called hub URL because at one point I ran my own little Django site called the hub, and I was only using it to track our chores, so I just renamed it to chores. It's got the port. But I thought it would be kind of cool to like, okay, so here's what I started working on. I'm going to exit out of that. Let me make sure that my little info repo is up to date. Yeah, I could see it right there in the commit script. Okay, so I started to, I was like, okay, I have at least two of these things I want to do. I want to launch both of these processes in screen. They each have their own environment. I was like, okay, I'll write like a little Python script. That'd be fun. So that's what this looks like. And I got a little carried away, and this is when I started to have fun because I love argparse. Man, this kind of stuff gets me going. I love like just writing a regular old CLI tool. It's standard library. I'm not bothering with pip packages. I mean, like, look at this thing. It doesn't even do anything yet, and it still just looks awesome when it runs. Launcher, self-documenting -h. And this kind of like, this shows you just the API that I had in mind. So what I like to do is have like some kind of, we can even sort of create what I'm talking about. Let's make a files. Let's make a launcher, chores.conf. I like to have some kind of like just regular config file where I go command, I go like Python source chores flask.py or whatever, and then I have a directory that I run it from, which like maybe it's just the home directory and the end file. Yeah, we'll call it that. I want it to just slurp up the one that lives in chores.env. That's all it has to do, and I want it to launch it in a screen session. And the API that I had in mind for the script, where's launcher the script? There it is. These choices here, I was like, okay, I want to be able to like, because you can just hand it. I want to be able to hand this to the cron special and have this run on reboot. So like when it first comes up, as a non-root user, just as regular old like unprivileged Joe, it runs launcher, points it at a config file, and then up, and this script will take all these sections of the config file and just make sure that that process is running in screen. Sounds kind of fun, right? I thought we'd start with a really simple example first. We're going to go config on the right and script on the left. I'm just going to have it try to sleep 1000. And that's the other challenge. We're not going to use any pip packages. I'm not dealing with it. I'm tired of them. I've barely used the Python standard library because I always just start installing pip packages, and you get carried away with them, and then you don't even write with the code that's right in front of your face. So let's try to do something simple. I'm going to just parse let's just see if we can parse this config file. I'll just write some like boilerplate stuff. The config parse library is pretty sweet. It's simple. All it is like a file. It's like just a list of dictionaries, and you can like provide defaults. That's all it is. So right next to parser, maybe down here, we'll go config equals config parser, and then So we're going to want to load it here. I think, is config a required flag? Let's just say you always need to have a config. We'll go path to config file. Don't need that. We'll make it true. Oh, we want to probably change this to something not copy pasted. Cool. What happened down here? Oh. Okay, so let's just try loading the config on startup. Call with args, and config. This is the other cool part about a config parser. This load command, I think it takes a bunch of things. Like you could take a dictionary. It's one of those functions that just figures out what it's supposed to do based on what you give it. So like if I just give it like a path, like what will be an args config, it will load the config file from that path. We're going to say loaded config from args config. And then, sure, let's also print it. I also got the chat open. I mean, in case anybody does drop by. Oh, no Facebook tonight, I guess. I tried to get it working, but who needs Facebook? It's stupid. Config. I wonder if I can go to... Let's just see what that does. Okay. Launcher, config. We're in Files, Launcher, Chores. Command. Oh, it took a long time to figure that out. Up. Okay. Has no attribute load. That's probably why I couldn't look up the documentation. It's called read. Yeah. Look at this. Okay, I was thinking of read. You have read dict, read file, read string, read FP, and then just read. And I think read is, I love how simple that is. Args config. It's an even better function than the one that I had typed. Okay. So that ran, didn't really print anything interesting. I thought it would like print the values. Let's see if we can, we'll run it with debug by default. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it to print the values of the config. See what we're there. Items. What does that print? It prints items view. Okay, whatever. So let's just see if we can run just the regular command and like work with it. So I'm gonna go for section in config section. We're gonna go info. You just sort of grab it with config section. Just nice simple config file so far. We're gonna go command. If I plan on passing this into the sub process, module, then I'm gonna want to split that up into like a list. So we're gonna go info command split, and then so eventually we're gonna do directory and environment file, figure out how to do all that, but in the meantime let's just do process p open, sub process p open. Okay, and this has a whole bunch of arguments it can take. I have all faith that we'll be able to, like, look at this, it's even got CWD, and I mean right there, that's what we need. So let's just see if we can run the process. I'm going to change it to sleep 5, just so you know we don't have to clean it up each time. We can just wait till it dies. P open command. And I don't know what it's going to do from there, so we'll just print it. I was going to open up a terminal and like see if it's running in the foreground here. Okay. Let's try that. So, and oh, there it is. Check it out. So we should be able to do process PID 83767, and then I wonder if I can kill it. I'm not sure what the parentheses mean. Does that mean it's dead? Let's look up what the documentation is for a process. Subprocess Python. So popen is a constructor. So can I browse like what's on a popen object? Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Popen objects. Okay, I can poll. Check if it's been terminated. I can wait. Communicate. Interact. Oh, okay. So I can like send stuff to it. Kill. Kills the child. Sends a sig kill. And is that still running? No, it's gone. Okay. I wonder if it was like trying to kill it. Sig term. No, I should have killed it. Proc kill. Okay. So we should know enough to be able to just start the process. So how about we do this? Logger info started process, and then we'll put the PID here. And that is section process PID. Okay, and that won't be too helpful because it'll just start this and then it's not saving the PID anywhere. We'll get to that though. So if I do up, started process chores. Cool. So the next step, let's try to start it in screen. That would be pretty cool. The last time I tried to figure out screen, I think it was also on stream. It was very treacherous. I had a really difficult time with the flags and stuff, but let's see if we have better luck now. I was reading a thread about this. Python start screen command. I don't want to make a game. Python open screen and execute. This person's even using popen. Okay, so they're giving it to standard in. That's one way to do it. And then they're doing screen ls to list that. Okay. DMS. Okay. Well, let's just give it a shot. I think so. We are going to append screen DMS to info. So that's going to be screen. I did that really weird. Screen DMS info, and then and then we also need a screen name. Screen name. What is this? AOL. Okay, let's try that. So, okay, sleep is already ran. Let's try it again. Up. So sleep 10 is running. There's screen. All right, and it's gone. Well, awesome. Okay, so here's the tricky part. Actually, that's not so bad. I think that's probably good enough just to start processes. But what else would we want to do with it? I listed out here just while spitballing. Down, like how to spin them down, and status. I wonder what we could do for status. So for status, what I want to do is for each job, we'll call them, defined in this config, I would just like to see if it's running or not. That's probably good enough for our purposes. So, like, what do you get that from? Let's just start something that runs forever. I wonder if I could do this. While true, do sleep, echo, date. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's try that. Whoops. What did I do? Screen ls. Okay, no screens. Let's try launching it. Started. Okay. I'm assuming it bombed out. It probably didn't like that. I mean, I'm guessing you can't just like jam out and write a single line bash script and then hand it to popen, because I'm just splitting it by. I don't know how to do that though. Let's just see what it's airing it on though. Maybe I'm closer than I think. Okay, so command echo date done. Process. Can I do methods? No. Standard out. Standard error. Poll. Popen object Python. Popen objects. Oh, I could just check return code. Return code, so it was fine with it? It has a PID. Oh, not anymore. Oh, maybe it tried to run? That's tricky, man. If standard error argument was pipe. This attribute is a readable stream object is returned by open. Provides error output from the child process. The encoding or errors argument is specified as universal new lines. So after I launch the process, do we have to, I should probably read from standard error. standard error. Is that what that said? Standard error argument was pipe. It's pass to P open. What do I have to do? I wonder if I have to do shell true to like run all those semicolons and stuff. Yeah, worth a try. When you're writing code, it's always a good idea to change a bunch of things at once before you try it again. Pro tip. Pipe. Okay, let's try that. And then we're also going to try with open process standard error as error. Logger debug and then we're going to do section read, I guess. Let's try that. Okay. Expected string. Oh, I can just read that. I don't need to open it. Duh. I suck. It's like an HTTP response. Process standard error read. Boom. Nothing. It's not running anymore. I may have to get rid of the infinite loop and just do like sleep 1,000. Oh, it launched it inside of PDB. Okay. So shell true probably doesn't do what I think it's supposed to do. Oh yeah, let's just make it a little simpler. Why don't we just do sleep 10,000? Oh man, that terminal's really confused. Okay. Boop. Oh, didn't want to do that. Okay, so it's sleeping. It's running 2 shells in bash, I guess. That's weird. And screen ls. Chores, there it is. I think that's the one I accidentally opened. Screen delete. Oh, I think you just have to jump into it. 89912. Terminate. Okay. There we go. Chores. Okay. So this is the infinite sleep window. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to print like shell commands, but we're on our way. You know, I think we can already do something like this. Like we can actually look up what the real one will be and keep that right underneath our testing one just as inspiration. This is how it actually launches. Okay, so check out how cool this is. We can just make this directory here. So we won't need that. And that's the tricky part. got environment variables in the port. Oh, and you can see I'm calling it from a virtual env Python. Let's be lazy and just Google it. Run shell one-liner in subprocess popen. Let's narrow our scope. Semicolons in subprocess popen. Stringing together commands. Someone after my own heart. Active host query. Okay, yeah, he's got pipes. What is he saying here? You can do, I guess you just need a shit ton of quotes. Oh, and the pipes are... Oh, it's not quite what I was looking for. Oh, it just needs to be one command. I think that's where it's getting me. So when we write the real thing, we'll be fine, because that's just one command. Here, why don't we do this? Ah, I have an idea. I wonder... Okay, we're going to use my blog as an example. That's a good idea. Because it's a Python web server. And the cool thing is it just starts like this. You go Python -m blog serve. Okay, which means we'll probably also have to hook that up, but that's easy enough. Let's hook up the working directory. So that's the command. That's the directory. And then I think we need to also expand it because I have like tildes in there. We're going to use OS path expand. Directory. Current working directory. It's going to be a directory. Terminate that. Okay, so when this kicks off, it should, let's reenact what it's going to do. It's going to change to source blog, and then reading from here, it's going to run python-mblog serve. Oh, it's dash source. I've been meaning to change the module name back to blog. I don't know why I was a hipster and went with SRC. Okay, so that'll start a web server. That's actually, I should have thought of that. That's a great way to test this out because we're just launching a Python app. Easy. Ansible bin launcher up. Expand. Of course it doesn't. That's not a function. Launcher. It's called expand user. And then we'll do like a little warm-up command. Running command from, and then the directory. Command directory. And we don't need this because it's already going to be an array. Process, what did I do? Forgot the parens. Alright. Probably don't need this part. I was barking on the wrong tree. Okay, so if we do screen-ls, no sockets. Man, this is hard to debug because it's like, how do I know? It's like, how do I know why this crashed? I mean, I think I have a guess as to why it crashed. I think the -M is confusing screen. I think it's like, you had more arcs for me? Escape flags. String escapes. Gross. Where am I? I wonder if screen supports --. You know, I'm stupid. I should just try this. I should just try the whole screen command in a terminal. Okay, let's let it puke. Okay, so what it's going to run. I'm stupid. Boom. Okay, so that's actually a good simulation of what it's doing, because it's not gonna. I'm not in the right directory, so that should crash. But when we go to source blog and then run that command, yeah, okay. And this would be amazing if I did --, and then it just fixed it. Nope. Didn't fix it. Do I have to put it in quotes? That would be annoying, but I could deal with it. Nope. Screen escape arguments. Command character. Oh, gross. Yeah, what is going on here? Man. Let's ask Spidey what he thinks. Is he out yet? You there, buddy? This is worth a shot. Let's see if you can see it. There he is. He's just chilling. So we want to be able to, I think that is it. We want to be able to pass flags to commands we're giving to screen, but not have screen get all confused and try to use them. Or whatever it's doing. It's just failing silently. I think that's it. Screen escape dashes. No, that's not what I wanted. That's car stuff. Command. It's gross because I really want to. I don't want to just solve it for the command I'm writing for this case. I don't want to have to solve that on this config file. That'd be crummy. I want to be able to just say boop as if I were typing it in the terminal. Like if I do this. CD to source blog and then boop. Oh. Did it again. I'm doubting getting screen involved at all now. Just sucks. Okay. Screen. What are the stupid flags again? DMS. I hate this program. DM capital S. It'll be called chores, and then I wonder if I have to just quote everything. Come on. Okay, so that works. I don't want to use printf because I would have to like inject printf onto every command. But if that's what it takes, just printf everything as a string. Oh my goodness. Well, let's give it a shot. Format shell command. Very mysterious function name. That just feels like it's going to be a terrible function. Okay, we are giving it a string because it's just whatever you parse from the config file. We'll call it command. We're going to split it. Command. Apparently, according to Jack Diedrich's talk, it's totally cool in Python to change a variable to a different type. Nothing gross about that. You're just transforming it. Had a brain fart there. Would you do the split command? And now we want to inject a printf onto like every token. So that's like adding one before it in the list. That look like this for actually let's change that to command list for command and for token in command list we want to how do normal people flatten lists? Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's just stupid. Give me that Functools. Yeah. What can Functools do? Itertools chain. Yeah, boom. That will do. Import Itertools. That's for that at the very end, though. Command list. Let's do this. Because now we don't even have to name command list. So for token in command split. Putting command list back. Command list. And then how do you do it? So printf. And now this is going to get confusing because we need to wrap it in a single quote. So it's going to be boop, boop. I think it's going to be %s. That's just a decimal. I think, oh, and I need no F string needed. Command list. Command equals printf. I think that's it. Oh no, then you need the actual value of what that is, so that it will just be a what am I doing? I don't need double quotes here. Okay. Struggling with this one. Token that we want to wrap in single quotes. And that is an F string. Single quotes. Token. Okay. I can also just append quotes to it, I guess, but that works fine. All right. Luckily, we can test this out in the console first. Format, shell command. Let's just use the actual shell command we're giving it. No, I didn't want all the letters, Python. Dang it. Okay. Let's just see what return command list does. I think I'm definitely overthinking it with the... I changed how I was building that list, so I don't need Itertools anymore. Yeah, that was stupid anyway. And run that again. That's more like it. Okay. Printf Python. And I'm just curious, what does that run in the shell? This works, it's going to be amazing. Gosh dang it. Oh, with those... wonder if these would each have to be. I think these each have to be subshells. No, that's not going to work. Man, this shouldn't be this difficult. I wonder, could I just cat it to standard in? I'm going to be really mad if that's the solution. No, I bet that's going to do the same thing. And screen DMS. Oh my gosh, it's working. Is it working? Yeah. Echo. It didn't actually do anything though. I wonder if it's actually, maybe it's running but just not capturing live output. Okay, let's try this. Because I could do a pipe in popen. That's all still just one command. And if we turn on verbose logging, we should be able to see. I can just use my blog to test. No, because it exits right away. Detach. It's still running. Yeah. It wasn't anything but the Python command itself, because that works. It's just still screen run command with arguments. I remember before we went down this weird path of trying to just escape the shell command, I remember one of the first ones we saw, the answer is just feeding it in through standard in, like making like an interactive process or whatever. Launch, screen in. It's like still in our search history, I bet. Command. That's starting to sound like a much better idea now. Yep. No, not that one. There's this one. Okay, standard out, standard in. So in this one, you just launch the screen session first. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this. That's a dumb idea. I mean, it was a nice function, but... And then you just give it a session name. So we don't need this. And then the actual name. Yeah, we'll quote that also. So we'll say creating screen session for job chores. Maybe this will make managing them easier in the long run. Man, that's starting to sound like a great idea now. Just open the screen session. You can feed it commands. They can confirm they worked. Okay, let's see if that works. Then since we don't actually need the result of that, we'll just do call. We're just going to trust that it worked. Okay, so we already had the right buffer open. There we go. Boom! No, I don't. Yeah, that's named right. Sweet. Chores. Okay, but we want to create the screen and detach it also. Create screen and detach it. I think that was the dash little d flag. Dash d. Perfect. What is it, stuck open? Can I kill a screen? Kill dash screen. Screen X. Please specify command. Quit. That's an unnecessarily complicated command. Gosh dang it, screen. Alright. So that'll create it and detach it. Launcher. Oh, did it switch me to blog? No. I don't know what that was. Dang it. What is it? Dash D? Dash S? I thought checked was a real thing, no? What is it called again? It's like check to make sure that this process didn't exit. Bad. This is just unreadable. Run. Check. Oh, I'm doing dash call instead. Oh, I'm a dummy. Run. There are no screens to be detached matching shores. What does that mean? DS chores. Screen. Let's just try the man page. Detach. Start a screen in detached mode. Little d, little m. Is really both of those flags? Little d, little m, so little s, chores. Great. Okay. Let's try the launcher. Oh. Not running though. I thought that should have been running. Yeah. Oh, because it just it opens just the screen session. Duh. I haven't gotten to that part. Okay, so now let's feed the command into it. Awesome. Ah, did I just close that? Dang it. That one was hard to find. Okay, there we go. Oh, so we're going to want to save that process actually. So that is a P open. So that launches the session. Copy, paste. Okay. So ours would be session. And then let's just go plus a new line. All right. I think I'm going to go get another beer, and then we'll keep plowing through it. I'll be right back. It's getting there. It's just working with working with screen is one layer of complexity. Kind of figuring out how to pass it through Python is another part of the problem. So we don't need that. Screen is working fine. And then we'll do a little comment. Open session. Run command. I wonder if doing it this way, can we see, we can see the status. We can see I guess that would be the sub process that runs. Oh no. Yeah, you can't really capture the process then. So it can just try to run it, but it won't be able to check if it worked or not. That's fair. I guess we could always just query to get in the screen. So that would be command equals info command. We'll do it that way. Oh, I guess first we need a cd command. There we go. Switch directory run command. Cool. You just need section there. You don't need a directory for this. That looks nice. Okay. So for wonder if I could do that. For info section info in config items. I wonder if I could do that. Because then I'd be able to get rid of this, I think. Let's make sure that works. That'd be really slick. Okay. So, section, default, items. No, okay. And then we could do, so for section info in So jobs equals section config section. That looks better. Okay. So opens a screen command, switches to the directory, runs the command. That'll be at the end. Ran command. We run the command. We should check to see the PAD. I wonder if I can read from standard out. Yeah, sweet. So you want to run it. I don't understand what's going on here. I guess we're just going to have to guess. Let's just see if we get this far. None tape. CD directory. We didn't even make it that far. Okay. So let me get it side by side. Oh, it's because I bet it's because I need to set this. Dang it. Do I set that? Nope. I don't know why I took that out. Okay. Boom. Okay. Whoop, didn't like that. Bites like object. That says it takes a string. Oh, is it just... byte array? String argument without encoding. Can I just... I always forget if it's encode or decode here, you know? It worked. Sweet. It's encode. Okay. Of course it is. That's not gonna work. I need to encode it again. Those guys with the fast cars are so stupid. Okay. Encoding. Or no, I don't need it there. I need it there. Okay. So you encode it. Can't concat string to bytes. Oh. Dang it. because we forgot the new line. Oh, damn. Forgot to do that here too. UTF-8. Oh, duh. I was encoding it inside the string. Should have known something was up there. Man. Got completely lost there. Okay. Oh, just occurred to me I might have a screen session running. Yeah. How do I delete all those? Okay. That's easy enough. I wonder if in Screen there's an option to attach, if it exists. Screen, attach, or create. Because that would be pretty simple. -D-R. That could be huge. That saves a whole bunch of logic. -D. Alright, let's try it. I should be able to run it twice and then just get the same screen. Must be connected to a terminal. Oh. Do I need like shell is equal to true or something? Must be connected to a terminal. The lid was a little wiggly. Little spider break. Probably shouldn't even be touching this one's enclosure, but Cart has been chilling in there because she's getting ready to molt. Yeah, she's kind of bugging out now. Spidey's just chilling in his cave still. Good boy. Okay, must be connected to a terminal error with screen. Script dev null. Screen is bumming me out. Let's just try it with shell, see if that worked. Wow, I was confused. Must be connected to a terminal. Oh, is it because I don't? I see what they're saying. I just run bash. Dang it. I wonder if I could just launch it in Python and then send it to the background. Is that a dumb question? Python launch process in the background. Because I guess as long as I could control the process and truly send it to the background, even after I leave the session, that would be cool. Because then I could, my plan was to just represent the process and like pickle it to the file system, and then you can query to see if the process is up or down. That's OS spawn. Yeah, just add an ampersand. That's worth a try. Okay. Controversial, but we're going to cut out screen. Sorry if I just burped in the mic there. Wow. Okay, we don't need the screen session. Switch directory. And then Python, I can check if it exists. That's pretty neat. Yeah. Exception's fine for now. So change directory, moving to directory. And then you run the command, which is just going to be screw that standard in writing stuff to screen. I think if I could just background the process with an ampersand in the shell, that would be good enough. Yeah, cool. So subprocess p open command. You know what? I'm stupid. I could have just done yeah, without screen I don't have to, I could do it all at once. Ran command. Oh, duh, I have to split it. There it is. So how do I send it to the, I guess we could just add an ampersand. Let's look around some more. I wonder if I could fork the process. OS fork. That's an idea. What would that look like? Oh boy. That could work. I can start a fork for each job. That would be kind of neat. Driver code. So how do you create the fork though? Oh, it creates a copy of itself. That's pretty nuts. Okay. You know what? This is an adventure for another time. I like the idea of forking that, though. That'd be cool. I think that would be... Because you are sort of running this from cron. I guess that's the cool part about it, because it's kicking it off. And then if you stream the log somewhere, you kind of have a really nice init system. Hand it over to cron to launcher, which creates just a fork for each of its jobs in its config. Very neat. I think that's possible. All right, folks. Until next time.